What's up, y'all? Another Bible study, Bible reading, Mark 4. He began to teach again by the sea, and such a very large crowd gathered to him that he got into a boat in the sea and sat down. And the whole crowd was by the sea and on the land. And he was teaching them many things in parables. And he was saying to them in his teaching, "Listen to this. Behold, the sower went out to sow. And as he was sowing, some seed fell beside the road, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell onto the rocky ground, where it didn't have much soil, and immediately it sprang up because it had no depth of soil, and after the sun had risen, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among the thorns, and the thorns came up and choked it, and it yielded no crop. Other seeds fell into the good soil, and as they grew up and increased, they yielded a crop and produced 30, 60, and 100-fold. And he was saying, He who has ears to hear, let him hear." As soon as he was alone, his followers, along with the 12, began asking him about the parables. And he was saying to them, "To you it has been given the mystery of the kingdom of God, but those who are outside get everything in parables, so that while seeing, they may see and not perceive, and while hearing, they may hear and not understand. Otherwise they might return and be forgiven." Now that's because they had a curse on them for not believing, and if they started following God and believed in Jesus, they would have understood. But they didn't. They had hardened hearts. And he said to them, "Do you not understand this parable? How will you understand all the parables? The sower sows the word. These are the ones who were beside the road where the word is sown. And when they hear, immediately Satan comes and takes away the word which has been sown in them. In a similar way, these are the ones on whom seed was sown on the rocky places, who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy. And they have no firm root in themselves, but are only temporary. Then when affliction or persecution arises because of the word, immediately they fall away. And others are the ones on whom seed was sown among the thorns. These are the ones who have heard the word, but the worries of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter in and choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. And those are the ones on whom seed was sown on good soil, and they hear the word and accept it and bear fruit, 30, 60, and 100-fold. And he was saying to them, A lamp is not brought to be put under a basket, is it? Or under a bed? Is it not brought to be put on a lampstand? See, you're supposed to let your faith show through your works. You're not supposed to hide your light. For nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor has anything been secret, but that it would come to light. Everything eventually comes to light. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. And he was saying to them, Take care of what you listen to. By your standard of measure it will be measured to you, and more will be given you besides. For whoever has, to him more shall be given, and whoever does not have, even what he has shall be taken away from him. So if you're digging in the Word, or you're trying to learn more about God, about the Bible, and increase your faith, you'll receive it. You'll learn. You'll understand. But if you're not searching it out, if you're just sitting there in your remaining in your faith, happy where you are, then it's going to be taken away from you. And he was saying, The kingdom of God is like a man who casts seed upon the soil. And he goes to bed at night and gets up by day, and the seed sprouts and grows. How? He himself does not know. The soil produces crops by itself, first the blade, then the head, then the mature grain in the head. So that's believers first. That's the process of faith, process of of someone's faith. Starting small, but once you keep going, you learn more and more and increase in faith. But when the crop permits, immediately he puts in the sickle because the harvest has come. The harvest is the end of the world. And he said, how shall we picture the kingdom of God? Or about what parable shall we present it? It's like a mustard seed, which when sown upon the soil, though it is smaller than all seeds that are upon the soil, yet when it is sown, it grows up and becomes larger than all the garden plants and forms large branches, so the birds of the air can nest under its shade. So you start with your faith. When you start believing, your faith is small like a mustard seed. But as you keep going, as you read the Bible, start learning more about God, your faith increases, and it's compared here to a large plant or a tree, to where the birds of the air can nest, and other people can benefit off you. With many such parables, he was speaking the word to them, so far as they were able to hear it. And he did not speak to them without a parable, but he was explaining everything privately to his own disciples. On that day, when the evening came, he said to them, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd, they took him along with them in the boat, just as he was, and the other boats were with him. And there arose a fierce gale of wind, and the waves were breaking over the boat so much that the boat was already filling up. Jesus himself was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he got up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Hush, be still." And the wind died down, and it became perfectly calm. And he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They became very much afraid and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" End of chapter 4. God bless you guys.